you go into Newton Stewart, and normally what I do is I stop at the Sainsbury's in Newton Stewart for a coffee, and then if you punch your sat-nav in from there and put Erin, then it'll give you two options. It'll either give you the options going back out to Girvan, back up towards Ayr that way, or it'll bring you this way. I have got the route on that My Route app, but that's obviously coming from where I live down to, I think it's through Dunmerlington, that way down to Bellow, Whithorn, and then from Whithorn up to Newton Stewart, and from Newton Stewart up back home this way. As I said before, there's loads of roads like this all over Dumfries and Galloway. Some of them are open, some of them are not, because obviously it's still being timbered, so all the timber's still coming out. So once they're finished falling all the trees, they basically make the road like this. This is you right in the heart of the Dumfries and Galloway forestry. This is all public. All of it's public. See, he's coming down that road, so what I'll do is indicate, let him past. That's it, that's the way you're meant to do it. I seen him coming down the hill. He's in an older motor. So I don't know what bike, if we do come here I don't know what bike you would have, but I'm never out of third gear. The only downside of it coming this way, if it happens to you, there's no phone signal. It just depends on the time of the year. There might not even be anybody coming down this road, because this road gets closed at winter. So when it's snowing and ice, this road gets closed. Positive, I'm not 100% sure we should be positive, not 100% sure. I think my cousin and his friends got stuck on this road. It wasn't, the weather forecast never said snow. They were out on a bike run and they must have been coming from Newton Stewart, and they've decided to come this way, and then it started to snow. On motorbikes, not even cars, motorbikes, and they were stuck. I'm sure they were stuck halfway along this road, and they had to go, I'm sure they had to go back to that pub we passed. There's a pub just as we turn, just as I keep saying we, I mean the Royal We. That's inside third as well of them. And I was in fourth. So as we came along for Newton Stewart, as I came along for Newton Stewart and I turned right to the start of this road, on the left hand side there's a pub there. I think they had to get taken back in a 4-wheel drive to that pub and wait to the snow away to get their bikes. If anybody was coming from up north or down south and coming here, you can actually camp here. As long as you never left a mess and cleaned up after yourself. There's actually, see, so you need to be careful on those roads. My bike's got a wee workout there. Yeah, as I was saying, there's actually a bit, we'll pass it when we're down here, there's a bit that people do use for camping. This is one of the places that where I met the Yamaha Tenere rider on this road, but at the start of this road. This is where I told him to bring, you can come up here. It's a bit windy right enough, but that's how people either camp at the start of the road or at the end of it, or depends what way you're coming. You definitely need to be quick on the brakes. But this road, if somebody's coming the other direction, if you're going fast, that is. This road used to be like that gravel there, this whole road. So you want to go this fast, whenever like that. So like that there, you can camp there. But that road used to be like this all the way across. So they do it with a hard, I think they call it hardcore, I think that's what they call it. So they'll do the road with that, so the trucks can go up and down and get grip up down, so they can work all year round, winter, ice and stuff like that. And then once they're finished with it, they'll tarmac it. That wasn't even like that last time I was here. But we need to take a wee run up there and find out what that is. Remember that for the next time. Go up and find out what's up there. Yeah, so this is an old logging road. And it says the forestry, once they've fell all the trees and once they fell all the trees, they'll tarmac it, and then they sprout off different routes, like that one I showed you there. That used to be a logging road and now they've tarmacked it. So they've obviously finished doing what they're doing, and then that will spread off, that will branch off to different parts of the logging. And then when they do decide to fell their trees when they're old enough, they'll block this road off. So there might be they'll open another road up maybe further along, so you'll rather than come up here, you'll go left and up through the actual forestry while they're logging them. It's a good way of doing it. There's a place up, I think it's the Seven Locks. I want to take a run up there during the summer. The place at Seven Locks that you pay they charge you up there. That's I'm sure that's Argyll. That's Argyll Council that run that one. Argyll Forestry. It's all ran under the forestry division. But there's different councils that look after it. And the one up at Argyll, they've got this that goes through the Seven Locks, and at the start of it, they'll charge you I think it's £3 a car. And then you can drive through all the locks and stuff, and it starts at one side, finishes up at the other. Then there's another one I heard out as well recently, that it's £10, but in the middle of that you've got I'm sure there's a cafe, there's a play area and stuff like that if you've got kids. Obviously for bikers it's not really, we just want to go and play in the roads. Yeah, so there's a few of them around Scotland, and this is all the stuff that you miss if you do the NC 500. And there is more to Scotland than just the NC 500. Because there's forestry up at Inverness as well, there's forestry in Aberdeenshire. I don't know if you can drive through them or not, I'm not too sure, but definitely Dumfries and Galloway you can, because we're doing it just now, or I'm doing it just now. I'm not arguing with him, he's bigger than me. He's got the stuff for making the roads in the back of him. Yeah, there's quite a few. So I'm going to do it. As I say, I might not do it this year. Next year I'll not be doing big trips, as you get away for 2 weeks in a week or whatever, abroad anyway. Because I'm taking my son to Florida next year. So before I go to Florida in October next year, I'll do maybe round Scotland and do some of these forestry routes and actually just plan a route. Then I'll have it, and then I can have a file and maybe sell them for like a pound a file or something, or depending on the size of the file. Look at that, that's new. Somebody's building a... That's a skateboard ramp. Somebody's building a skateboard ramp up there. So yeah, it's interesting. There's places over Scotland like this. There's actually, I'm going to need to look out for it, there's two houses. There's two houses that used to sit here and they're dilapidated, and I don't know what they're for. Boy, every time I pass I keep thinking I'm going to go and have a look at them. If I remember where they are. But yeah, years ago, this road's, there's no way you could come down here on a sports bike or anything like that, because it was all that gravel and stuff, so you wouldn't have made it. And I wouldn't go really fast down that road, because if you decide, if somebody comes like that, one of the cars there nearly took me out, because they don't stay on the left hand side of the lane. They think this is a single track, but they realistically should be staying on the left, and just in case anything comes they've got time to pull over, but they never do it. I think that's it there. I think that's the houses there. That's the houses, look. I don't know what they've been at one time. It's quite strange. There's more behind it. There's another few houses behind it. So even though I said that's Dumfries and Galloway forestry, it technically is, but this is now, we're now in Ayrshire. So there is a sign back there halfway down that road saying you're in, I think it's South Ayrshire, but technically you don't get into Ayrshire until you that bridge. But that part is still classed as Dumfries and Galloway forestry, even though it says it's East Ayrshire. So this is us getting to Straighton. The roads are absolutely terrible, and I've came to the conclusion that I think I know why they keep the roads like this, is because they don't get maniacs like me coming down my motorbike and firing at 120 mile an hour down this road. I wouldn't do that. I don't do that anymore. I don't speed anymore very often. Yeah. My brother, who I'm going on a trip with, I think he's planning on coming over before we go away. I think he's coming over at the end of May. I think he's maybe planning. I'm kind of hoping he brings his bike. So we can do a wee tour, because there's probably roads that I do when I'm out just playing about my bike that he's probably never been doing. Because you tend to find that it's always the same routes. That's why NC 500 is popular. And then if you're from kind of Glasgow, where I'm originally from, our basic routes normally would have been from Glasgow heading to Loch Lomond, past Loch Lomond to Inverary. So that would be the rest to be thankful and stuff like that. You get to Inverary, then either you would just get fish and chips and then turn round and come back, or if you feel a bit adventurous you could go from Inverary up to Oban, and then Oban over to Fort William, and then back down the 82, back past the Green Welly, and then home to Glasgow. So that's the kind of routes that you would do, like a Saturday afternoon maybe. And then there's other routes you would do would be coming from Glasgow, going over to the north of Glasgow, heading towards Aberfoyle. And then you could go to Aberfoyle, have a coffee in Aberfoyle, and then you would go from Aberfoyle up through the back of Aberfoyle, which takes you up towards the Seven Lakes, or the Seven Lochs, and back round towards Callander, past Ben Ann, and then that would be you back down into Stirling, back into Glasgow. The other place that used to be quite popular as well is the Carbeth Inn. I think that's on the A83, I think, or the 81, can't remember, but it's now closed. That used to be quite a, it was a pub, but it did a lot of, well, a Saturday, Sunday during the summer. It would do kind of, I should have went that way back to Millington. It would do coffees and sandwiches and rolls and stuff like that for the bikers. But that's now closed, that's now a house. Somebody's bought it and made it a house. So the other popular destinations would be, I don't know about if you stayed in Aberdeen or Edinburgh and stuff like that, I don't know what their kind of routes are. These are only routes that we used to do because we stayed in Glasgow. So the other routes would be, we've did the Loch Lomond one, we've spoken about the Loch Lomond one, which I'll probably do. I don't like doing it because I've done it that many times, but I'll do it just probably for a video. So Loch Lomond, Inverary, kind of way up to Open Air, out to Fort William, back down. That's another one.